Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Project Addicts. On today's video, we're going to continue working on John's daily driven Mazda Miata. Last episode, we replaced the seals on the both transmission and the rear diff. In today's video, hopefully, we're going to put them on. So let's get to it.
Alright, so I think we gotta take this top off of this upper control arm so this can rock forward, and then that'll give us enough play in the axle to try to drop this out. So I'm gonna go back under and undo those other 414s. We're going to go ahead and tap this axle out here. So it should just take one quick hit. I'm not really too worried about damaging the end of it because we have other axles, but if you are going to be reusing your axles, pro tip, put the nut back on and just make it flush with the tip of that. That way you're hitting two things. Alright, so we got the transmission fluid emptied. The next thing I want to do is try to get everything connected to this power plant frame that runs the length of the car, basically. It goes from the transmission to the rear diff, connects everything. There's a wiring harness in there. This next shot will kind of show you like the whole length of the power plant frame. And it's got a bunch of plastic clips I got to pop out. I got some bolts for the frame in the front, in the rear, and then there's a bracket on the transmission as well. Yeah, let's try that. The next thing to do would be to push this off of the transmission, and then we're going to take the drive shaft out, and hopefully the rear diff will drop down with this power plant frame attached. Just take it down as one big section, and then the only thing left would be the trans. So let's see how that goes. Okay, we got the rear diff removed with the power plant frame still attached to it. We had to wrestle it on the ground to get the bolts off. That was probably the worst thing so far, right?
Yeah. That was definitely a puzzle and a half, guys. We weren't able to get any footage out of it.
That was more complicated than I was expecting.
Yeah, we had to put the camera aside and actually focus.
Yeah, put the camera down and try to get it done.
Yeah.
But I'll show you some of the noises that I was hearing on this real quick.
Oh, wow.
So just very, very noisy. So I'm kind of glad to get rid of this. If you can see the size difference between these two, quite a bit bigger. This one is deeper, like the snout. I think the drive shaft is shorter and the axles are shorter. This one is bigger in every dimension, and it's also heavier. You want to weigh this real quick and see what the weight difference is?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
70 pounds. 53.6. All right, now we know 20 pounds. We're rounding up. We're at 20 pounds heavier. Cool. Oh man, we've been doing this forever. Hey man, can we wrap this up?
Did you remove the transmission? It's not gonna move itself, is it? Fine, we'll remove it tomorrow.
Alright guys, welcome to another day. Tonzi stopped cracking the whip and let me go to bed. I was kind of over it the other day, so you got some sleep though, right?
Yep, sure did.
Alright, so we kind of just got all the tools in one big pile here, which is super organized. Next thing to do is go ahead and get the transmission out. That's all we have left. If you want to come around this direction, I'll kind of show you what we did with the shifter and the interior center console here, just a quick reference. So take this guy out, center console. It's got like one screw on each side, one in the center, and then one inside the lid. And then that leaves you with this, with the shifter sticking through it. Undo those 4 bolts, take out those 3 bolts, pull this thing out. I only did this because I don't want the shifter to hit on this circle when I'm trying to remove it. So I just figured I'll just take it off. Got to clean that and switch it to the new transmission anyway. So underneath, I think all we have is the bell housing bolts, a couple of plugs for sensors, and the slave cylinder. I think that's it.
All right, be ready to take out the transmission, guys. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Stick him over there. This wiring harness is loose. I kind of just tucked him out of my way. So we got 2 plugs here for sensor number 1. So just do a little flathead action there, and then pop them right out. The other one here. Okay, and then you kind of got to feel around, but there's one up here. This one is just 2 little circle plugs, so I'll show you once I pull them out as the harness hits me in the face. There's 1. There's 2. That's what those look like. They're just pins, so you can just pull them straight out. Nothing too hard on those ones. So those 2 sensors are undone. That totally separates this harness. Let me start with the slave cylinder, and then we'll start dealing with the bell housing bolts, which I think should be the last step. So let's go ahead and break loose this slave cylinder. It's just 2 12 mils. Get this puppy out of our way because he's attached to the transmission. All right, so this is going to be really hard for us to film, but we have the larger bolts here, which are I believe 17s. Those are the main bell housing bolts, but if you look at this one just above that one, the one way up here, and then there's a third one that direction. It's like 1, 2, 3. That's the starter, so we're gonna get those out. I think one of them is nutted on the back side, so you kind of have to put your hand around these clutch lines right here and kind of hold the nut while you're removing it. I think the other 2, or maybe one of the 3, is not nutted on the other side. So that's going to be tough to film, but we're going to go ahead and try to remove those real quick. All right, here it goes. Get under it here pretty good. Forward with it before it crushes me. All right.
That was impressive.
And there we go.
Oh, wow.
We're looking at this clutch, which wasn't that old, but I'm wondering if this pilot bearing popped out. It's just jiggling around inside.
Yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be jiggling like that, if you guys remember from the WRX video.
Yeah, you press it into the flywheel with a hammer. You know, I usually put the pilot bearing in the freezer to cool it, and then you hammer it in, and that's it. It's kind of like a press fit. And the other thing I'm seeing is quite a bit of wear on these clutch pressure plate things. What the hell is this? What are those called? Pressure plate teeth?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see the groove all the way around there, so I don't have the warm and fuzzies about this clutch, and I was waiting to buy one to see if this was going to be the case. So anyway, let's go ahead and get it removed, and we'll inspect everything. And
Alright, yep, idle bear is about to fall.
Right, let's go ahead and get the rest of these flywheel bolts off and see what this rear main seal looks like. Holy that's heavy. I can't believe I didn't drop it. Woo! So we're going to try to see if we can figure out where the oil leak is. I'm fairly certain, and you agree, I think that it was the rear main. But this piece looks like it comes off. It's got 4 10 mils here. It looks like it's kind of like, maybe honestly like a piece of plastic. This doesn't seem like metal to me. But the person I bought this motor from that did all the work, well, the block was redone with new pistons and bearings and everything. And then, I don't know, I don't think the shop did this. I think he did the oil pan. He might have just ordered the block and then he put the heads on and everything. But he used silicone. You're not supposed to use silicone on engines. You're supposed to use RTV or a proper gasket maker, because this stuff is like, it's too soft and it lets oil get past. So I'm going to take all 4 of these bolts off, take this little rear main seal, I guess casing, I don't know what you want to call it. And we're going to put some new RTV in here and order a new gasket behind this piece. I guess we'll pick this up tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye. Well, I think we wrapped up the Miata. We got everything swapped over. It's driving great. The new 4.1 differential is perfect. I probably should have done the 4.3 with the 1.6 liter engine, but it's okay. 4.1's good. It just seems like a slower car than it was before. But yeah, I think we're maybe gonna do a quick burnout here or something and close out this project, and then we're gonna get right back on the Subaru here shortly. Thanks for watching the last couple episodes of the Miata, and hopefully it was some information for you.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode. Stay tuned and peace out.
Glamour shot.
Continue working on John's daily driven WRX. Today's video we're going to
Every time, man. Every time. Is that good?